So, the starting point whenever you're looking at predictable business growth for any business is splitting the strategy from the tactics. So, most businesses are over here probably having a tactical approach to their business growth, have grown organically over the years, and there's certain things that they do in marketing, certain things they do in sales, probably service and support of their customers. Their website's probably been there for 5, 6 years, and it hasn't really evolved to help them grow and to support their business growth because they're doing things very tactically. It's all very separate. Sales, marketing, service aren't really aligned with the overall growth of the business. They're all probably working in their own silos, doing their own things. And the key to any business growth is in getting your strategy right. So that's why I said, really, strategy first is our approach with Digital Media Edge. And every client we work with, we make sure we spend a lot of the first month developing their strategy with them and getting this right, because this will identify the tactics that will work for that business to grow. Doesn't matter what sector, whether you're in B2B, B2C, whether you're a charity or a non-profit, these principles apply to everybody watching this video. So step one is get your strategy right. So your strategy really is what differentiates you from every other business within your sector, differentiates you in the eyes of your customer, allows you to evolve your user experience of customers, allows you to evolve every element of your business growth, but also put metrics next to that, put milestones next to that, put timescales for when you want to achieve this. And then that really, having that strategy in place with all of these metrics and KPIs attached to it, does remove opinion from the business growth. So a lot of businesses we talk to and come across have grown organically for 15, 20 years, been led probably by the opinion of the founder or the senior management team within there. We're really shifting their thinking to say, let's base all your business growth on what the data tells you, because your market will always tell you what's working and what isn't working. Your customers will always tell you what's working and what isn't working. So listening to that feedback, yes, we all need opinions, and to make certain decisions, you have to have opinion, but we say, let data drive those decisions, let those metrics, let your strategy you've planned out for 12 months, 2 years, for 5 years. If you're going to look to double your growth in the next 5 years, that's 20% growth a year. So plan that out, have a plan in place and a strategy in place first, and then let the strategy dictate the how, the tactics that you're going to focus on. Okay, so when we're looking at strategy and we're developing strategies with clients, we do this a lot on behalf of a client. We'll develop the strategy for them, or most of the time we'd prefer to partner with the client and develop the strategy alongside. So we're putting our expertise alongside the client's experience and expertise of running their business. I mean, that's everything they bring to the table, and we can bring all of our inbound marketing, our strategy planning, all of our inbound sales and service expertise, running CRMs, developing the tech stack, getting the technology right within that business to really support that business growth. All of that's what we can bring to the table. So that's what you need to do in your own business. If you're not working with DME, then you need to do this internally. Get all your teams together so everybody buys into this. This shouldn't be a senior leadership decision that's then fed down through the company, fed to marketing, fed to sales, fed to service, fed to the operations, fed to finance. This should be everybody within that business being involved in the overall growth. So as you can see here, we break strategy down into why, who, and what. And we're looking to have KPIs at every stage of this. So what are the business goals? So what are your overall goals for growth? You know, timescales. What are your challenges that you're facing? What are the gaps you have that you need to fill? So that's usually resources or knowledge are the gaps. The challenges you're facing to growth. Have you done competition analysis? Who else is in the market servicing your clients as well? Do some deep dives in there. What opportunities are there for growth? So again, what are your quick wins? That's something we always speak to clients about very early on in the piece. Have you identified any quick wins that you know if you get a strategy in place and some tactics to actually execute that strategy in that area, you could dominate your competition and really get some quick wins, quick revenue, new customers through the door? Or maybe those quick wins are with your existing customer base. Maybe there's upsells, maybe there's a referral process where you could drive more referrals from your existing customer base, or maybe there's a new product range, a new service range, some new solutions that you can offer to your existing customer base, which will give you a quick win there. Social media, again, what social media platforms should you be focusing on? What content do you have in your content strategy? All these are elements. However, you've got to start here with your overall business goals, because then you break those business goals down into marketing and sales goals. So marketing's goals will be driven by what leads do they need to attract. So that's all lead generation marketing. Everything should be focused on driving the right type of traffic to the website, attracting the right type of people to the business, and then converting those into a lead of a certain stage. So what's your MQL? What's a marketing qualified lead look like? Well, we call them MQLs, but that's a marketing qualified lead. So what's the criteria you're putting next to leads for marketing? So how much traffic do they need to generate? Is the traffic that's coming through the website then converting at 2%? If it is, then you know if you're getting 2,000 visitors to the website, converting that at 2%, then you're going to have X amount of new leads as well coming into your database. Those leads are then handed over to sales, and then sales have goals of converting X amount of leads into new customers and revenue. So all of this is aligned around your overall business growth goals, because operations have to feed into this. Marketing, customer marketing, service, sales, everybody has to be working together. So everyone's overall goals are feeding back into the business goals of the business. So what's the business vision? What's the mission of the business? How are you going to make the world a better place? And that's how I like to define mission. How are we going to make the world a better place? So really define that. And then that mission will feed down into your positioning statements. So your positioning statement is how your business appears to the outside world. So does a prospective customer coming into contact with your business for the first time get you straight away? Get how you can help them. How can you support that customer on their buyer's journey on the problems and the challenges that they're looking to solve at that point? So again, that's having a very clear positioning statement. So it could be something like, we help engineering companies of a certain size to achieve X. So again, you're very specific to the engineering sector. You're a B2B business appealing to the engineering sector, and you are really saying these are the type of businesses we help the best, and this is why we can help you. So again, positioning statements, your visual brand. So how do you look to the outside world? What's the user experience? What's your website look like? What do your infographics look like? What does your offline look like? Because again, a lot of these businesses, we can generate lots of leads in offline as well as online. So it's not all about digital. This is about business growth. So again, what does your stand look like when you do go to a trade show? But again, be very careful how much you invest in trade shows. Do we need to go to a trade show? Can we invest that money into digital and get far better quality leads, get in front of more people? Values and culture, all of this is connected in the why your business is there, and why you're all in business, and why do you go to work every day? Our why at DME is very clearly to help 50 Lincolnshire businesses double their growth in the next 5 years. We have that everywhere. We know that that's our why as a business. So again, identify all of this, break down your business growth goals. This is really important at the strategic level. Then target markets. So what sectors are you going to focus on? In B2B, this will be very much sector driven. So your ideal customer profile will be manufacturing companies of this size within this geographic area. So it might be, like we said, Lincolnshire businesses of 5 to 50 employees with a turnover up to £5 million in these sectors. So be very specific about your target markets and sectors, and then analyze your existing customers. So a lot of the information at the strategic stage, we can get that accurate information fed back from our existing customer base. So when we're talking with a client, we'll say to them, what are the questions your existing customers are asking you? What's the feedback you've had from surveys from people who've worked with you as a business? But also get some of the data, some of the metrics we're going to need. So what's your customer lifetime value? So an average customer, how much do they spend with you? How long do they spend with you? So an average customer may stay with you for 5 years and spend X. You need these figures for your growth goals. You need to plan this out, and I'll show you why as we evolve this. I'll show you why we need those figures. And then the cost of customer acquisition. So how much does it cost for us to acquire a new customer as a business? And again, that can really be a key figure in determining where and how you spend your marketing budget, for instance, how you improve your sales process. What's your conversion rate? Are you converting at 25%? So 1 in 4 leads that come into the CRM actually get converted into business somewhere. What's that worth? So again, get these figures, cost of customer acquisition and customer lifetime value, ironed out. Talk to marketing and sales, get these figures accurate so that you can make decisions based on that data. What's the competitive landscape look like? What are the competitors doing? What are your buyer personas? So within those engineering companies of a certain size that you're looking at, who are the key decision makers within there? Who are sales speaking to most of the time? But then who else will be influencing that decision? Because if your sales team are only meeting operations or marketing and discussing with them, we can guarantee that they'll be going away. That marketing person will then go away and talk to the FD. He'll talk to the CEO. He'll talk to the operations manager. So all of these people are the sphere of influence around that buyer persona. So we need to not just flesh out a key decision maker, but realize in B2B that most businesses will have 4, 5, 6 people in their decision making process. So we need to identify each one of those people and then develop buyer personas for them. Again, what's the buying cycle? How long does the buying cycle typically last for your business? Is it a 3-month buying process, or is it a year? Does it take 12 months? And again, when you're planning out your strategy, this is really important, because as you go back to marketing and plan marketing campaigns out for across the next 12 months, you have to realize when the impact of that marketing campaign should start impacting on the bottom line and customers. So again, this is why you identify priorities and where your quick wins are, because it may be that marketing campaigns attracting new business and new prospective people, they can be started at different times through the year and are constantly running to generate new work. But other marketing campaigns aimed at your existing customer base and analyzing your existing customers and cross-sell of solutions and services and new products to them will produce a far quicker win, because they already know you as a brand, they already trust you, you have authority in their minds. They are the type of people that will generate referrals for you, the type of people that will buy a cross sell that you send to them, or an upsell that you send to them, or a new service that you promote to them. They're the people that will leave you reviews, which will then have a positive effect on how other people see you, because it's other people talking about your business, people who've experienced working with your business talking about you. Again, with surveys, this is something that should happen automatically. Once everybody has been a customer at any level of you, they should automatically have a survey asking them 4 or 5 questions, net promoter score, things like that. So how likely are you to recommend us to your friends? And then go into the level of service they had, any ways they feel you could improve your service. So you're constantly evolving that user experience to make it better and better. So this is all part of your strategy. Buying cycle, and then segmenting your audiences. So if you're not using a CRM, then use something like HubSpot, just for the power of segmenting your audiences. So segmenting prospects from existing customers. Even in your existing customers, segment customers who buy multiple times off you compared to people who bought once off you. These are different messages, different content, making it very personalized. And that's the power of segmenting an audience, is that we make a very personal message to that segment. And that's what we all want in our buying experience. Again, user experience is all about feeling that it's more personal to us, and that we're having content provided to us and we're consuming content that's answering our problems, answering our questions. So segmenting and defining your audiences within your existing audience will also help you then to plan out your marketing campaigns for prospective new people. And then finally, what are you offering to these people? So products, services, solutions, all of the different things should be clearly identified, as should be the transparency around pricing. Now, I can't overstate this. You must be transparent on pricing, because in a digital world, connected world we all live in, if you're not, I go to your competitor who is more transparent on pricing. Because it's one of the key questions, one of the key things I have in my mind is, how much is this going to cost? Okay, so the more transparent, even if you give a range of prices, if you can't be accurate and it's a sort of product that could be, how long is a piece of string, then give examples of typical clients. You've got case studies, you've got all sorts of ways of presenting this information, and giving a range of pricing. But whatever you do, please plan pricing to be very transparent on your website, on everything you talk about, and throughout your sales process. Okay, so this is part of planning out your strategy. And it's a measurable plan for business growth. So let your strategy dictate your tactics. This is all over our office because it's so key to success with modern business growth. Once people get into this strategic thinking, they start mapping this out, and we start having our input and helping them plan out a strategy, then the execution side actually looks after itself. From there, it's identifying the tasks that need to be done on a day-to-day basis to execute that, and we know the results that we should be expecting. Okay, so this is very black and white now. We're basing everything on data, not on opinions anymore. And if we do this, it should produce this. That's the stage you want to get to. Yes, it takes a year, 2 years with most businesses to get to that stage. But once they get that predictable business growth strategy in place and they've done that correctly, then it's something that they can execute, and we can support them and change our emphasis then to supporting them with certain tasks that need doing, certain content that needs producing, or coaching and training their team. And as I say, one thing we pride ourselves on is that we actually embed in with companies to make sure that either myself or Rachel are going in once a week to make sure that client strategy is being executed. The team are there to be supported properly. We can train and use our expertise to coach those team members, either in marketing or in sales or any area really of the business that we identified needs some support. We can then step in and help them with that support. So get your strategy right. Hopefully this video's underlined that. When we're looking at a strategy, these are sort of 12 areas that we'd look at. As I say, we've talked about the goals and the overview. Using SMART goals within that to make sure that everything's measurable is key. Doing the market analysis, identifying buyer personas. Once you know who that person is, you'll know what content you need to produce. Your social media strategy is driven by that as well, because as you're developing your social media strategy, you've got this person in mind. So B2B, you may say, I need to focus on LinkedIn to get to these people. And how am I going to get, what sorts of content do I need to develop to get to those people? Because if you're reaching out to these people with the right solution-based content, answering questions, answering fears, answering problems, sharing case studies at different stages within that buyer's journey, you can have maximum effect, and you can reach other people like that across social media. So again, that pull mentality, that inbound mentality of pulling people in is very, very effective there. Obviously, your website development, it must be key that we focus on conversion. That's all we're focusing on when we're looking at website development is, yes, it may look pretty, but is it converting at 2%? If you've got 2,000 visitors to your website every month, are you converting? Is that 2% of website visitors? Is your 2,000 visitors turning into 40 leads in your database? That's the key figure you must have in for conversion optimization of your website. And that'll be relating to calls to action, landing pages. It'll be relating to all of the different conversion tactics. What sorts of offers have you got at the top of the funnel that people will exchange their name and email address for? So again, once you've gone through that website development piece, and then we'll look at some of the user experience bits after that, but really we're focusing on conversion, focusing on landing pages, and also on SEO. Is it split into pillar content, long articles that build your authority and trust with people, and Google are going to rank you as the authority and trusted source on that information. So the core topics of your business must be very clearly defined in your website content, and then surround it with topic clusters. So break those big long topics into smaller subtopics, so areas that make that topic up. And again, you'd have 12, 15 subtopics surrounding, and these could be videos, these can be blog posts, can be all sorts of subtopics surrounding that pillar content, but all linking back to it. This will drive your social media strategy, conversational strategy. Again, in our strategies, we're planning out how that buyer persona that we've identified here wants to engage with the business. So they may not want to fill a contact form, and in fact, most websites' contact forms aren't working like they used to do because people simply don't want to complete a contact form and wait for 24 hours for hopefully someone from support to get back to them. You know, we're using chatbots now. We've got chatbots integrated by URL. So if you're on the pricing page, the chatbot will automatically know that you're on the pricing page, and it'll just say, I see you looking at pricing, how can we help you? You know, and it'll start answering some of those questions. So you'll have chatbots, you'll have live chat, you'll have Messenger. Facebook Messenger can be integrated now very easily into chat, and you're basically understanding how that person wants to engage with you, not assuming that they want to send you an email, not assuming that they want to ring you on the phone, giving them multiple options to get in contact and make their user experience as easy as possible and seamless as possible. Conversion paths we've talked about. Is that traffic converting? Have you got landing pages? Have you got calls to action? Have you got thank you pages? And are you measuring metrics of how each of those is working for you? And then once people are being converted into a lead, how do we nurture those leads, and how do we nurture those customers within our database? How do we engage and connect with them regularly to make sure that they feel part of our environment and that we really care about them as a customer and appreciate their business? And then marketing software, tools, metrics, reporting, and analytics. How do we use all of those to tie all these elements together and understand what's working in our digital strategy and our growth strategy overall? What tactics are working and what needs optimizing? So I know that was 20 minutes long, but hopefully it gives you a nice overview of how we approach developing a growth strategy for a client and how we can support you in doing that, and why, if you're doing this on your own, you must really identify time, now you have it, to do this in detail, to plan out a detailed strategy with metrics, everything that we've talked about in this video. Okay, any help you need on that, please click the button at the top of the page. Let's talk. I'm happy to talk through your business and help you get some ideas about how you're going to plan out your growth strategy for your business. All right, take care and talk soon.